Hey, my name is Chad. Welcome to this video. We are going to talk about the first gun that I have that has a memorable story attached to it. So a little backstory here. This is a video that is hoping to get the word out more about somebody in our 2A community here. His name's Tony with the channel Lakeview Outdoors. His wife has just recently been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. From what I understand, it's a CIPD, and their insurance is not doing much to help out with the costs involved with all the testing and everything that's involved with a serious medical condition. So the Scotsman sent out another video mission, and Jamie over at JH586, he had the idea to have everybody talk about their first gun. Well, I kind of skipped it for the last 2 weeks because I grew up on a farm and I don't honestly remember the first gun. I know when I was a kid, my dad would have me shoot a 12 gauge and get knocked over on my little tuckus. It was really funny for him, not so much for me. Then I learned there was 410 and 20 gauge and things that were much more manageable for a small 7, 8, 9-year-old kid. But as I got older, I stayed into the a little bit of shooting when I would go out and be out in the country. I do remember one pistol that I had, and it was like one of those semi guns, like it's a little chromed out 380, and I don't even remember where I got it from. I think somebody either gave it to me or I gave them like 40-50 bucks for it one day. And it was one of those guns that just gets passed around, and I don't have it anymore. The slide broke on it, or like it was cracked and coming apart. I do have a funny story about that one, but we'll save that for another time. Maybe on a live stream I'll tell that funny story. But the one I want to talk about today is something that I picked up when I was in my, we'll call them a headstrong 20s. So I'd like to tell people that I was never much of a stupid teenager, but I had my stupid teenage years in my mid-20s when I decided I knew better than everybody else in the world and I was going to do things my way, and you could not tell me any different. So after working where I actually work now for about 4 years, I decided the best thing would be for me to quit that job and go open my own motorcycle shop. So about a year into it, we'll just say there's a lot of stories that go with that, but it was one of those things where I was working myself very, very hard and very long hours just to pay the bills to keep the store open. So I wasn't really getting ahead very far, and I decided to shut it down towards the end of summer of 2007. Well, in July of 2007, I had a customer come in and he wanted to do a swing arm extension on a sport bike. So what's involved there is you buy these aluminum blocks that go in where your chain adjuster would typically go on the swing arm of your sport bike, and it will extend it out 6, 8, they have up to 12-inch extension blocks. So when I ordered these parts for the guy, I told him he was going to need a longer chain. Well, he didn't want to, I guess, listen to me, or he thought he would get a better deal on eBay or something. That's when eBay was real big. So he did not go ahead and order the chain. Anyways, long story short, he got the blocks in and picked them up on like a Friday, I believe. And then the following Monday, he was back in my store and telling me that he needed to actually get a longer chain, and he needed me to install them because he didn't want to do the work. So here's the rub. During that weekend there was a gun show in town, and he had just picked up a new pistol, so he knew his wife would not approve him spending more money at that time. So he offered me a trade. I believe I gave him around $200 cash, and then I covered the cost of the chain and the labor to put the blocks on, install the chain, cut it down to length, and run his extended brake line. So pretty much did, a couple hours worth of labor work and came out of pocket. I want to say it was around $200. I honestly don't remember because that was back in 2007. And I did find this. So this was my kind of bill of sale that I made for him. Chain, install the chain, sold him an oil filter wrench and a Red Bull. And I marked it as paid on deal. But that was my cost of everything. So I put it at $15 labor. It was really like almost $200 in labor. But a grand total, $160 worth of build out work, plus maybe $200 in cash. I really think it was closer to 100 or 150, but long story short, we made the trade and I ended up with what is in this blue box. So I didn't know anything about it then, but this is a Smith & Wesson SW9VE. So he was I believe in the military police on the post there at Fort Sill Army Base. So let's take a look here. Clear, we're good, nothing in the mag. So this gun, came with 2 magazines. They're those nice, Smith & Wesson mags. I do keep one of them here in my house loaded with hollow points, and this is what is near my front door. Since this is not a great shooting gun, so far as what I have now with my Shadow Systems DR920, I keep this by the front door. It is the, home protection, bump in the night, ready to go if I need it, and I keep it loaded with hollow points. So, anyways, that's about all there is to it. I figured if you want to look at it, it is, super dry. I have not done much to take care of this. I honestly don't ever hardly shoot this anymore since getting my current one. I figured I would show a little bit of why I do not shoot this too very often. And we'll make use of a trigger pull gauge. Okay, so let's take a look with a trigger pull gauge, and we will see just how terrible this thing is. Golly. Gah! Wow. Yeah, so that is a 10.5 pound trigger pull. Let's just make sure that was not a fluke, but that feels honestly about right. So needless to say, being accurate with this thing was a very learned behavior. Okay, so 9 pounds and 15 ounces. So, not quite 10 pounds there. Another 10 pounds, 3.4 ounces. So yeah, not something to be bragging about your trigger pull if you have a Smith & Wesson SW9VE. Now, I was pretty pleased. Overall, I'm happy with the deal. Like, I helped him out. I got his bike up and running, and 2 months later, I ended up closing the shop down. Like I said, there's a lot more going on. That's a longer story for really a good live stream story that I'll tell someday. But this is one of the last things that came out of it, and one of the only things from that kind of period in my life that I've still got a hold of. And I'll take it out every couple of months, maybe 2 times a year, just to make sure it still works. Ugh. It is very unpleasant to pull the trigger on this thing. That's my version of my first gun. Is really the first gun that I have that has a good story, good, memorable to me, and something that left kind of a lasting impression on me. Shortly after that, I decided my online name, like if you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, the screen name that I used to always use was Moto Gunslinger, and I still keep that on my Twitter and Instagram. You know, I was into motorcycles and I like to shoot, so put them together. Moto Gunslinger, that was me. Actually still is me on most platforms. Well, anyways, this was a quick, short little video that I just wanted to give a shout out to Lakeview Outdoors this coming Wednesday on Chris from the 740s live stream. We are going to, or he is going to be on the stream, and they're going to try to be doing a fundraiser for him, and any money that is raised during that stream from super chats, anything like that, is going to be forwarded straight to Tony, and trying to do anything that anybody in the community can do to try and help take some of the burden off of them while they are dealing with this CIPD situation and the lack of insurance coverage. So thanks for checking out this video talking about one of my more memorable gun acquisitions, and to me it's one of the earliest gun memories that I have that has stuck with me, you know, over the last several years since 2007 when this kind of happened. If you have any way to help out and donate to Tony and his wife, I know they would be greatly appreciative of any support. If you can't, everybody understands, but try to share this video out, share out all the other people that are making videos on this. We're just trying to raise awareness and help out a fellow person in the 2A community while they're going through a really tough time right now. So hopefully this gave you maybe a little bit of a smile, heard a little story from me, and you're aware of what's happening with Tony and his wife. So I greatly appreciate you watching this video. Thank you to all the new subscribers, and we're going to keep rocking and rolling, and we'll have more coming soon. So I thank you very much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.